Alright, so what are we doing today? Well, we're giving this Infiniti a long overdue oil change. I'm ashamed to say it's several thousand miles past its due date for the oil. I try to do it about every 5,000 miles and it's past that. So I've got oil and a good quality oil filter in my well used drain pan, and got the car jacked up enough to get under it over there. So that's what we're going to do today. And I've got some more maintenance to do on this car this coming up weekend. I don't have the parts for it right now. I'm going to have to order some parts, but whoops, sorry for that. One of the things I'm going to have to do is put a pair of hood struts on it. As you can see, I have my failed hood strut compensation devices in place while I'm working on here. This hood is heavy. If this thing fell on you, it'd probably give you a compressed spine or something. So definitely need to take care of that. And at the parts store, those are $36 a piece. I can get them online, a better quality online, for $36 for the pair of them. So I guess you can guess what I'm going to do. And another thing is I need to do the cabin air filter. This car takes two of them, and there again, parts store wants $16 for one of them. I can get the pair for about $17 and free shipping on the internet. Figure that one out. What do you think I'm going to do? But that's mainly it. All I've done to this car so far has been to put rear brakes on it, and I made videos of that. I just haven't gotten around to uploading those yet. And that's basically it. I was considering cleaning the engine, but I don't know. This thing has a lot of electronics under it, and I know in a perfect world you're not supposed to be able to get them wet enough to cause a problem, but I don't know if I want to tempt fate. This engine is supposed to have an engine cover on it. I don't know where that went, but I can see it's obviously missing because it's not there. And I don't know why it would have been taken off. I think they had to do the valve cover gaskets on it once, but it's missing the upper cover, and it's also supposed to have a belly pan underneath it. So I probably need to be looking for those. So I don't know, I may get brave and just rinse off over here, clean around here. I don't know, we'll see, because it does look pretty grungy. We will see what I do on that. This is a 4.1 liter 32 valve engine. Makes 270 horsepower, and as I've stated before, the so-called purists frown on this version of this car because it's not a 4.5 liter. But if you look at the numbers, you know, a 4.1 liter engine making 270 horsepower, Cadillac and Ford both had to have a 4.6 liter to even come close to that. So I ain't too ashamed of it. This thing runs, man. Don't ask me how I know, but it'll stay right with an automatic, like a V8 2002, 2003 Mustang. Again, don't ask me how I know that, but I just know it will. So it's plenty good for me. In fact, I don't think I've had several Mustangs. I don't think I'd ever go back to one. When you have a car that runs as good as this one does, and it's got, you know, handles good, and it's a big heavy car, it's palatially comfortable, why on earth would you? So the independent rear suspensions, forget that. Mustang's nice. I don't have anything against them, but they're a handful to drive, and I just probably will never go back to one. So, all right, guys, let me get under here and get a little bit more greasy. So we'll see you soon. Oh, and by the way, there sits that poor Cutlass that nobody wants. But I have a plan B for that, so it's probably going away regardless pretty soon. You know, that I guess I'm just going to have to concede defeat on that one. I don't understand. I think what it is there's just two kinds of people here in Huntsville. There's people that make plenty of money, and they can't, they're too good to buy cars like that and fix up. Or too good. Oh, she's on her phone. Bless your heart. You should be paying attention to the road. They're too good to buy cars like that. They don't want to be seen in a station wagon. They don't understand the concept of thinking outside the box. There's those types of people and they won't touch it, and then there's people that don't have any money and they're just looking for a ride around for a little bit, and they don't have enough money to even buy it for that price. So that's the only two type of people there are here, evidently. If somebody said it was a good idea, said park it out here for sale sign, well, I've tried that. And the thing is, do you see any other old cars up here? There's one that said there's a Z car that sits over there. It's sat there for 2 years and they hadn't moved an inch. No, there ain't any old cars here. You gotta understand something, guys. This area is all about mowing grass and barbecuing and driving things that are safe and sedate, like their vehicles over there, and that kind of thing. They don't give a shit about an old car around here. They don't like them, so that's out. I'm a pioneer here in this neighborhood, I guess. A pariah, if you will. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. See you soon. Okay, we're continuing with our oil change on this 98 Infiniti Q45t, and I wanted to show you the oil operation to get the oil filter out. It's not real hard to do at all, but the oil filter is located kind of halfway up the front of the engine here. This is the front cam cover, and there's the filter down there facing forward, and I've already got my apparatus in place to loosen that. It's already loose actually, but what I did was it seemed to be easier to take it out the top versus trying to get it out underneath. So this silencer mounts up here on the front. It's kind of an intake duct, I guess, more than a silencer, but it mounts up here over the core support, and it's got two fasteners. It's got one right there and one right there, and it simply has two small 10mm nuts that retain it. You take those out and you carefully just lay that thing over on its top over on the engine over there, and it's got one thing to keep in mind for sure, has a plug. This is your intake air temperature sensor or ambient air temperature sensor, whatever they want to call it. You don't need to bother unplugging that. Just leave it connected, but careful with the wires because it goes to the harness to the mass air meter and all that. So once you do that, you can get in here to this filter and get it out. And what I did was, you see I got a rag down there. This filter is located right above the air conditioning compressor, so there's a belt right there. And you take this thing loose, it's probably going to drip some oil out, so I want to avoid getting it on the belt if possible. So I stuffed a big rag down in there to hopefully avoid that. And what I used a 3/8 inch ratchet, a small extension, and one of these cups, filter wrench, cup type filter wrench, I guess you'd call it, that fits over the end of the filter. And one thing to remember is you have air conditioning lines right here, and you have some wiring, so be careful with that. You know, you shouldn't be putting it on real hard anyway, and it should come off pretty easy. So that's how you do that. It's not that bad, so just give you a little tip on that. Thanks for watching. Alright, well, here's an addendum to the video I just made on taking the oil filter off on this Infiniti to Infinity and beyond. Well, you see that little tube there in the center of the screen? Up there? That's the bottom end of a piece of plastic line, and I was wondering where that went. Now I know where that went. When you take that filter off, it's got a drain up there that automatically drains. It's designed to drain the oil that comes out of the filter downward into that tube there, and it drains right down into the pan right there. So it does not get all over the air conditioning and does not get all over the belt. So ain't that swoofed. So I'll just say something. This is the things that separate Dodge and Chevrolet from Infiniti and Lexus and Mercedes. It's thinking of things like this. It's exactly what separates them. A big part of it. So anyway, it's time to put the oil back in this. And I have a question for you guys. Is anybody else creeped out by the ice cream truck? You know, as a kid, I liked the ice cream truck, but now that I'm an adult, when I hear one coming down the street, it just kind of creeps me out because I'm thinking to myself, you know, here I am, I feel like I'm being watched when he goes by, you know. It's like they slow down, they see me out here and they slow down. It's like, come on, get some ice cream. It's right here, come on, get some. You know you want some. And then I feel kind of like when they go past and have to go on past me and I don't buy anything from them, it's like they're pissed off at me. It's like, you jerk. You could have come over here and got a cone, but you didn't. Get out of here, B. You didn't. You ruined my whole day. Now I'm going to have to drive back to my ice cream headquarters without that sale. Screw you. See you around, guys. Thanks for watching.